Time now for the Left of Lansing Monday Musing for January 6th of 2025. In my first Monday Musing of the year, it's not lost on me the significance of the date, and it's also not lost on me if anyone has really learned anything during these past 4 years. And I'm talking to the brain trust inside the National Democratic Party and to a greater extent, the Michigan Democratic Party. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris performed her constitutional duty when she certified the election that she lost 2 months ago to dear leader Trump. And she certified it without any insurrection inside the Capitol building, any cries and complaints of cheating, and, of course, without violence. Because that is what this democracy was founded on. And it's what made America, America. But violence is the extreme MAGA way. And when they lose, well, hell, even when they win, violence is always their go-to, or at least the threat of violence is their go-to. The January 6th insurrection was a violent reaction from those who've been tricked into believing that white oligarchical rule is the norm, or should always be the norm. And through a well-financed messaging machine on all mediums, they're told by elite corporate forces that if they lose, violence or the threat of violence is acceptable. Now, that makes millions of others who repudiate such an ideology wonder how in the world did this movement and this movement's leader who led and celebrated the insurrection of his election loss in 2020 regain power in 4 short years? More poignantly, how did it regain complete power in our federal government in 4 short years? And as an extension, how did it regain the majority in the Michigan State House? Yes, racism, misogyny, transphobia, Islamophobia, all the phobias out there, and just plain ignorance played a role. There's no doubt in that. And any leftists out there who minimizes those reasons are not being serious to you or themselves, and they are guilty of the same ignorance. Racists always run towards the Republican Party, which is why the white Christian nationalists enjoy a seat at the table with dear leader and his Republican Party. But you know what? There's more to it than that. Trump became normalized again. Yes, the corporate media helped play a pivotal role in that normalization process. But we progressives, and I'm hoping others who usually vote for the Democratic Party, are understanding the fact today that the leadership inside the Democratic Party is also to blame, and it also let many people down. One reason why the guy responsible for the January 6th insurrection is walking back into the White House is due to the Democratic Party's inexcusable incompetency. President Biden picking Merrick Garland as Attorney General for starters was disastrous, and Garland's slow actions allowed for voters to become normalized about Donald Trump again. The January 6th committee, for another example, took far too long to form, and it did not hold hearing after hearing after hearing to keep everything at the forefront of the people's minds. Also, President Biden's constant need to tout bipartisanship did not gain 1 vote because, you see, it's confusing to people when you claim that the opposition party is a threat to America's ideals and American democracy and then turn around and say how much you just cannot wait to work with them. Michigan's Democratic leadership in Lansing made the same fatal mistakes, and that includes Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who celebrated bipartisanship with the state Republican Party that helped lead a protest with guns inside the state capitol just months prior to January 6th. And even today, we're hearing Democrats stress the need for bipartisanship on both a national and on a state level. It's as if Democrats feel more comfortable playing ball by Republican rule and rules rather than fighting for strong progressive values and convincing voters that their values are America's values. Democrats are more comfortable fighting on the Republican turf than fighting for what should be their turf when it comes to helping the working class of this country. To paraphrase progressive writer and blogger Oliver Willis, reflexive defensiveness leads to Democrats always having to fight with one hand tied behind their backs, and they refuse to learn their lesson. And then we're left wondering, how'd we get here again? leftoflansing@gmail.com is the best way to reach me. Subscribe to the podcast and also subscribe to Left of Lansing on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, the Gram, and Facebook. Take the battle to them.